Hey everybody, great to have you with us. Today I have the privilege of having Adrian Holloway with us, an esteemed man of God, and we're looking forward to what he has to say. This is so that you can get to know him just before our conference that he's going to be speaking at on the 22nd and 23rd of September this month. We're really looking forward to it and excited to have you. Adrian, welcome.
Thank you, Matt. I'm very much looking forward to coming back to Wyndham and seeing you guys. So thank you for inviting me.
Brilliant. So I have a few questions for you. So firstly, if you could just tell us a bit about who you are, a bit about your family, and who's the real Adrian Holloway, and a little bit about your journey with God so far.
Yeah, sure. So I became a Christian on the 14th of April, 1985. I was invited along to Wimbledon Baptist Church by a friend, and I became a Christian 9 months later.
Wow.
That was a revolutionary event in my life. I wasn't a churchgoer. I wasn't interested in Christianity. I didn't ever think that I'd become a Christian. I didn't even know you could become a Christian. Anyway, now I am married to Julia, and we've got four children. They're aged 23, 22, 16, and 14. And as well as serving as an evangelist, traveling around the country with the John 3:16 Trust, I also lead a church. So I'm the senior pastor of the Beacon Church, Camberley. So that's where I live now. Camberley is a place on the border of Surrey, Hampshire, and Berkshire.
Brilliant. Thank you. So next question is, what do you obviously do a lot of ministry across a variety of different churches in the UK, particularly around New Frontiers. And the question I was going to ask you was, what are you seeing God do in terms of the area of evangelism, and where do you feel like evangelism is heading in the next season over the church?
Well, I think that post-COVID, there is a vastly increased number of people in the UK who would say, I have anxiety, or I struggle with depression, or I have mental health issues, and so on. So it's not that people think, hey, I'm sorted, I've got all the answers. There is definitely a sense of felt need. And the important thing, I think, for us to remember is that it's not that people in the UK have all heard and understood the gospel and then rejected it. In the vast majority of cases, they just have never heard the gospel.
Wow.
So, for example, here's a helpful parallel, perhaps. When I became a Christian in 1985, I often heard, yeah, but all Christians or most Christians I've met are hypocrites. I never, ever hear that now because people have never met a Christian. They don't know a Christian. So people don't say, oh, most Christians are hypocrites, or most Christians I know are hypocrites, because they've never met one.
Wow.
And so it's a bit like having a blank piece of paper. It's not that people are really interested in Jesus because they have not really heard much about him. They don't know a Christian, but they're not necessarily negative. It's just that they've not come across it before. So
Wow.
it's a kind of a new day, I think, for us.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's exciting. That's really exciting. It's a bit alarming because we assume the UK is a Christian nation. But myself, I've had experience where I've meet people on the streets and they have no idea who Jesus was. So it's a really good place to be too, because you can tell people a lot. So yeah, thank you for that. So next thing is, what's the one thing God has given you? Obviously, he's obviously given you a lot, right? But what's the one kind of primary thing he always puts his finger on with you that you feel like you can impart to people, and that people could kind of go after at this conference as you're ministering?
Yeah, I think it's really important when you're unsure about something to work out, hang on, what am I certain about? And what we can be sure of is the success of the gospel, the success of the Great Commission. Jesus' Great Commission will be fulfilled. So we know that Jesus will come back. Jesus will come back one day. There will be a judgment day. There'll be the final states. There'll be heaven and hell. We know these things will happen. But Jesus said, Matthew 24:14 and Mark 13:10, that the gospel of the kingdom will first be preached to all nations, and then the end will come. So we do see in Revelation 7:9, people from every tribe, every language, every ethnic group, every language group, every racial group represented around the throne of God in heaven. So the Great Commission is fulfilled, will be fulfilled. And therefore, when we seek to fulfill the Great Commission, we're actually participating in something that's destined to succeed. And so rather than thinking, oh, well, this could fail, this whole thing could be a disaster. Well, no, actually, we're guaranteed success. We're guaranteed that every nation, tribe, language will be reached. There'll be at least one person from every language group around the throne of God. So we can expect the church to grow in East Anglia. The church will grow in East Anglia because we need to generate missionaries to evangelize this nation and all the unreached people groups and all the unreached language groups. So there's much to be done, but it will be done, and the gospel will succeed. And that's what I hope to bring to people, a sense of confidence and expectation that that'll happen.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. Yeah, you really do carry a hope in the fulfillment of the gospel, and that's just amazing to see. So thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it, and we are really looking forward to having you with us. And you're going to be doing some interesting things on the Sunday too. So if anyone's about, stick around for that. But yeah, we're looking forward to have you, and honored that you're going to come join us for this conference. Thank you so much, Adrian.
Thank you, Matt. I'm really looking forward to being with you guys.
Brilliant. God bless.